All right. Thanks everyone, and thanks for taking your time to attend this session tonight. I'll start by introducing myself, the company, and I'll share the few slides I have with you. Then after that, I will call on the facilitator that will take you on the journey if you are to enroll with us. And finally, we'll take questions and answers at the very end. So if you have questions and answer, please, you can raise your hand or you can drop your question on the chat as well. So quickly, my name is Akin Oladeji, and I happen to be the founder of Learn with Pride. And what we do at Learn with Pride is we are an IT training company. We are based in the UK, and we offer different trainings in IT, ranging from project management to business analysis to Scrum Master, product owner, data analysis, DevOps engineer, software testing, IT support, web development, and database management. So we offer like 8 different trainings, but what makes us different is we focus on a day in the life of, let's say, a data analyst. So we focus on the practical training and getting your hands dirty. We don't preach professional certification because that's not what will give you the headway. That's not what will open the door for you, basically. Companies are looking for people who can demonstrate their knowledge on the job, and that is what we concentrate on. So we've been in existence for the last over 4 years now. And over that 4 years, we've over 20,000 students has passed through our academy. I'm going to be showing you the stats as we go ahead in the session as well. So why data analyst? Or before I even go to why data analyst, or why are people moving to IT careers now? Why is it so popular that, majority, they want to transition to IT, they want to transition into IT. All these, rush, came about just after COVID, when companies now realize that, employees don't necessarily have to be, present at work before they carry out their job. Even the statistic has showed that, people work more or even harder when they work from home compared to when they are in the office. So that means regardless of where you are, regardless of your country, as long as you have what it takes, as long as you have the knowledge, the skill that is required on the job, you can secure a remote job. Take, for example, you might be living in Nigeria or Zimbabwe or South Africa. You can secure a remote job with a company in Australia, with a company in Ireland. You might be living in the UK and secure a job with a company in the US. That flexibility is what people, are after now. And also, when you work in IT, you are working smart. How do I mean that you're working smart? Compared to let's take a nurse, for example. They are making their money, good money, but there's no way a nurse can work remotely. It is not possible. They need to physically go into work and do their shift, whether it's a 12-hour shift or a 14-hour shift. Despite the fact that they are getting that money, but they are really working hard for that money. Whether, take for example, that 12-hour shift, they might be on their feet for 10 hours, for 9 hours. Even on their off days that, they're meant to be spending this money they are working hard for. You'll see them at home just sleeping because they are really knackered. They are tired, you know. But compared to IT, you are working smart in IT and you are getting really well paid as well. That is why you see people taking 2 jobs, 3 jobs at the same time, and they are taking 2 jobs, 3 jobs, not that they are working beyond 5 o'clock, you know. They are taking these jobs and they are still working between 9 to 5, and they close the laptop at 5 o'clock. They are working smart because most times in IT, aside the meetings that you'll be engaged with, if you know your onions, you can plan yourself in such a way that you can deliver all your tasks. So that's why, and it gives you the flexibility of work as well. You can take your kids to school, you can go to the mechanic, and you are still working at the same time. Not that you are the mechanic, you are not working. You are the mechanic, but you are still on your phone, probably attending to meetings, or you are still working on the go. That is not possible in other career paths, like the example I gave earlier on, like a nurse. So it gives that family balance, situation, flexibility, the opportunity to get remote work as well and earn in foreign currency. So that is why there is no other good time than now, to tap into the industry. And you know what? You to get the slice of the cake that everyone is getting. Anyway, so tonight we are going to be concentrating on data analysis. Do you require a technical background before you move into this career path? What does it take to become a data analyst? What are the skills that is required before you even begin this journey at all? All these things we are going to address in the course of this session. All right. So about myself, as I said, my name is Akin Oladeji, and I transitioned as well. I transitioned to become a software automation engineer. My background was in accounting, non-IT, non-technical. All I knew then was debit and credit, balance sheet, trial balance. But I was tired of what I was doing. I needed a change badly, and I was looking for what to transition into. One way or the other, I stumbled upon software automation. And, I asked that question because it's technical. It's completely different from what I studied in school. And I asked the guy, if I enroll on this course, at the end of this course, will I be able, number one, will I be able to understand what they are teaching? Number two, at the end of this training, will I be able to even secure a job? Because that's the goal at the end of the day for me to be able to change my career path. And the guy said, as long as you can, as long as you configured your mind, you are ready for that journey, we are there to, help you all the way. So all that is required is determination. And I started on the course back then. I finished. To cut the long story short, 2 weeks after I finished the master class, I secured my first role as a senior automation engineer, whereby I have to write codes in programming language like C Sharp. Remember, my background was in accounting. My undergraduate, I've got masters in accounting as well. All I know was, accounting. Now I embarked on a 3-month course. At the end of that 3-month course, 2 weeks after I finished, I was able to secure my first job, you know, completely something, completely different from what I know. I have to write programmer codes in programming language like C Sharp and all of that. And the whole Learn with Pride today, started with that just one course, software automation, whereby because that's the way I configure myself that, I want to know this thing to the extent that I can train someone else. So I started training families and friends from families and friends, it started becoming something big and bigger and bigger. And that is what we have today, Learn with Pride. So this is why I tell my students, it is doable, it is possible. Anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone can transition. All that is required is your dedication, your attention to details, getting your hands dirty, asking questions, going above and beyond what has been covered in class. And you'll be surprised at the end of that program, you'll be able to compete with those who has been doing it in the industry for the last 2, 3 years, because that's the way we are going to equip you for you to be able to compete with people who has been in the industry for the last 2, 3 years. But the moment you enroll with us, you are signing a partnership. What do I mean by that? It's a 50-50, kind of a journey. We do our own 50% by providing you with a platform, by equipping you with the right skills, with the right knowledge, providing you with the mentorship, with the support. And the other 50% as well has to be done by you, by getting your hands dirty, going above and beyond what has been covered in class, And if we can achieve 100% at the end of the day, then you stand a chance of getting a role as a data analyst after the program. So that's my journey anyway. Not to waste so much of your time, let me dive into my slide quickly. I'm going to be jumping. So why data analysis? I'm going to be using UK as a point of reference because that's where I am. So the average salary in the UK when it comes to a data analyst, you're looking around 60, 65 if you are considering a permanent role, right? But if you are considering a contract role, probably from £400 a day, £500 a day. If you are earning £400 a day, and even if the contract is 3 months, £400, £400 a day will give you like £8,000 a month. 8,000 times three, that is a lot of money. Majority don't get that in the UK. The UK, the average salary of majority, 70% of people living in the UK is between 18,000 and 35,000. That's what. But if you, after embarking on a 4 month journey, and you are even able to get a permanent role paying you 45, 50, 55, you are you are even outside the box of that 70% because you are doing good already. And that is one thing that this course can give you. It can open doors for you. It can open doors of opportunities. You can do freelance jobs. You can get the money you never dreamed of. I have someone who just got a job recently, probably like 2 months ago. He used to be an assistant care manager in a care home. He was getting 35,000 per annum, and he got this role. The starting salary was, I think, 67 or 68,000, plus other benefits that they are going to give him. If they add everything together, is going probably like 85, 86,000 per annum. This was someone who was getting initially or previously 35,000 per annum. Now is getting more than double, of what he was getting previously. That's the type of situation or position you can put yourself after acquiring the right skills, the right knowledge, and all of that. So that's that anyway about the salary. Again, you can work remotely from anywhere. As I made mention earlier on, it doesn't matter where you live, whether you live in Nigeria, you live in Ghana, you live in Zimbabwe, you live in the UK. You know, if you want to look or search beyond your country, you can, because companies are looking for people like you who has the knowledge, who has the skill. And why are they employing you from outside? You'll be asking that question. It's because they think you are cheap. It's because they think, oh, I'm getting a cheap labor. But no, even the cheap labor, if you should convert that money, it is still a lot of money in the local currency. That's why majority of these companies now are now looking outside their country to recruit people, because they think they are getting two for the price of one. But that's not even the case. Even if you convert that money to local currency, it is still a lot of money, you know. And sometimes, because this role as well is one of the shortage of skilled worker in the UK, you might be in your home country, apply for a job, they like you, you did well at the interview, and they can offer you a sponsorship visa as well. They will do everything for you, and you just relocate. So, but you cannot be in this position if you don't have what it takes. you know that is why we are here to take you on the journey for whoever is ready to go on that journey. And it is in high demand as well. If it's not in high demand, you won't see people doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs. It's because there are not enough people to take on the roles. That is why they need people like you to get skilled up so that you can compete for such roles. So that people doing 3 jobs, at least they can reduce it probably to 2 jobs and you can take one of it, you know? But it's because there are no people to to pick the jobs up. That is why they are doing 2, 3 jobs. So the jobs are out there, whether locally or internationally. The jobs are out there. But what do you have to do before you even think of applying? You need to get yourself skilled up first. All right. So if you are to come on the journey, what is the roadmap going to be like? Let's go through that quickly. So it's going to be a 4 month training that will focus on 4 industry standard tools, right? So each month will focus on one tool, and that is those tools are Power BI, Tableau, SQL, and Python. We selected these 4 tools. We review them every six months based on what the recruiters are requesting for or asking for out there. Those are the 4 common tools that are being requested for, as in when you go to job ads and all of that. So each month we'll focus on 1 tool. And at the end of that month, you are going to undertake a project based on the tool that you just completed. Meaning at the end of your 4 months program with us, you can showcase 4 different projects in your portfolio to recruiters. Because recruiters will ask you, do you have any probably project you've done in the past that you can showcase? Then you will be able to showcase these 4 different projects that you have used 4 different tools, to that you have used 4 different tools, to undertake. You can be able to showcase that at the interview or anywhere they ask you about that. So that is what you get. That is the training and that is the project. Then the next step is optimization of your brand. What do I mean by optimization of your brand? Now you've been trained up. Now you can actually call yourself a data analyst because now you know what it entails to do the job, to become a data analyst. You've done your project as well. So you are really skilled up. You are ready. You are fired up already and you are good to go. But you are not getting the calls. Recruiters are not calling you nor reaching out to you. You'll be wondering why. It's because you are not visible in the market. When you are not visible in the market, nobody will see you. No recruiters will see you. And that means you won't get calls. If you don't get calls, you will not get a job. That is why this stage is equally as important as the training itself or the project that you're going to undertake. I cannot overemphasize how important this stage is. You need to optimize your brand, especially for those that will be looking for foreign jobs, international jobs. You need to revamp your CV to international standards for you to be able to compete. Also, your LinkedIn as well has to be optimized because LinkedIn has now become a popular marketplace that recruiters now go to add-ons to look for, qualified candidates. So you have to be in that space as well. It is very, very essential for you to be in that space. So after this is done, after you've revamped your CV, then you need to upload those CVs on different job sites. Not only uploading them on different job sites, you need to make them searchable because some jobs are not posted online. Recruiters just go on that website to scan through qualified candidate or qualified CV, and they'll give you a call. So that means if you are not searchable, they won't be able to see you. That is why you need to, make your CV searchable for recruiters that might be coming on that website just to search for CVs. And after this, then you can be rest assured that you will start getting calls. They will call you. We saw your LinkedIn. We saw you on LinkedIn. Are you still open to jobs? Are you still in the market? You start getting different calls. Also, you start applying manually as well. And from there, from getting calls, you can be rest assured that they will shortlist you for interview. And this is another stage that we assist with as well, interview preparation, because we want you to go into that interview with confidence. We want you to go into that interview and, scale through. So we assist when it comes to interview preparation as well. Why on this point? Let me just quickly talk about the benefits that you get when you enroll with us as well. So you get the practical training, you get to work on a live project, you get the mentorship, you get the support, you get interview preparation, you get a CPD accredited certificate. So the certificate that we'll be giving you at the end of the program, it's CPD accredited, meaning it meets the professional standard, and the certificate is recognized in over 60 countries. In UK, Australia, Canada, USA, Nigeria, Ghana, over 60 countries, you can tender that certificate. The certificate can go on your LinkedIn, it can go on your CV because it is recognized. And also, finally, we give you a work reference for the duration that you are with us because you'll be working on a project. So we'll be giving you a work reference for the duration that you are with us. So those are the benefits that comes with the package when you enroll with us. Aside that, you because you need people at your corner, whether when you are searching for a job or when you eventually land one job, when you eventually land a job, you need people, you need professionals at your corner because you might run into issues and you need someone to quickly show you how to get over that issue. That is why you need professionals, you need people at your corner. So we have another group called alumni group. The alumni group is full of people, it consists of people who are already working in the industry and those who are still currently searching, actively searching. So it will be a nice platform for you to belong as well, whether you are searching for a job or you are working already. If you have any issue at work, it's an opportunity, or it's a platform whereby you can share that issue and you can be rest assured that you see someone on that group that is going to help you out with that issue. So those are the benefits that comes with the package. So to say, the moment you enroll with us, you become a family. Even after the program, let's say 6 months down the line, if you come back to us, we can't say we don't know you again. We are still going to be more than happy to assist you with anything that you want, even 6 months down the line that you left us. So we try to create a family, a lasting family, whereby, you know, if we help you out today, we know that, okay, tomorrow we might send someone your way as well for you to help out. So we are here to help each other out until we attain that height, that we aim at. All right. So quickly, let me take you through the company start. From 2020 till date, as I said earlier on, we've enrolled more than 20,000 students as enrolled with us. And this is a breakdown, although this is not current. This focus on January 2023 till June. And even the courses here, we've added probably like 2 more courses. So this has to be updated. We've added web development and we've added database administration as well. But this is from January 2023 till date. The number of enrollment we've had so far. For data analysis, we've had over 250 enrollments since January till June. July and August is not in this stat. So this is the breakdown of the stats, so to say. And the final one is 85% of our students have secured the role. 50% out of these 85 are currently working in the public sector, and the 35% are working in the private sector. Why 15% are job ready? They are good to go. They are just waiting for that opportunity to come their way. All right. So quickly, these are the job sample I took online. The first one is paying between 60 and 80,000 as a data analyst. Again, I'm using UK as a point of reference, but this doesn't matter. Regardless of your country, it is still a highly well-paid, role. But I'm just using UK as a point of reference. The second one on the right is paying £50,000 per annum, which is not bad at all. The one on the left is paying 45, and the one on the right is paying between 45 and 55. And these are the things, you can see what they are requesting for, what they are asking for. These are all the things that you are going to go through during your period with us. SQL, data modeling, Power BI, everything, it's a really intense training for anyone that is ready to learn. You cannot go wrong. I tell you that you can't go wrong with that training. So the training is for 4 months. It runs twice a week. It runs every Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time for 4 months. So it runs twice a week for 4 months. All right. Before I hand over to Samuel, who is going to be the facilitator, that'll take you on the journey for the next 4 months if you are to come on board. The next cohort for data analysis will be starting on the 26th of September. That is when the next cohort will be starting. And for the cohort that will be starting, because we opened the enrollment probably like 2-3 weeks ago. So for the cohort that will be starting on the 26th, we only have 8 slots as of now that we want to take on for the one starting on the 26th. So for anyone that wants to take, that wants to come on board, the cost for the 4 months training is $799. But for anyone, just for anyone that wants to come on board and you are paying everything at once, we are ready to give 60% discount, for anyone who is coming on board. Again, this discount, let me just check, is only for a week, so to say. As I said, I don't know whether it's going to last a week before we are fully filled up, or whether it's going to last more than 1 week. I don't know. But you can take the advantage. You can make A when the sun still shines, 60% discount is a lot of money, is a lot of discount. But for those who has already done their due diligence, probably you've made the inquiry somewhere else again before, I'm sure you agree with me that this is one of the cheapest that you are going to see out there. And also, so the 60% is for those that want to make a full payment, right? But if you want to pay instrumentally, if you want to spread your payment, we can allow you to spread your payment twice, just that you won't be getting 60%. Rather, you only be getting 40%. So if you want to pay twice, you can still get 40%. But if you are paying once, you get 60%. But again, as I said, this 60% is open for the next 1 week, but we don't know. We might be filled up tomorrow. We might be filled up 2 days, 2 days time or 3 days time. That is why it is important for you to make A when the sun still shines. When it comes to investing in ourselves, sometimes we find it reluctant, investing in ourselves, because the question would be, what, if I should spend this money, what is the guarantee that I'm going to get a job at the end of the day? That is the question most people or majority of people will ask you. But what you don't know is, until you pass through the tunnel and cross over to the other side, you will never know what will happen. It's like playing a lottery. Majority of us, when you see someone that won a lottery, 30 billion, how you'll be wondering, I wish I played that lottery. Probably I could have been the one who won that money, but you never played. We can only wish. Until you play, they say you have to be in it to win it. Until you play, that is when you stand a chance of winning. Same thing goes to transitioning. Until you take that bold step, and you know what? I like this journey. I like this course. I wouldn't mind to put the money down. And you know what? Let me just get skilled up. And when we get to the point whereby we need to start looking for a job, then we cross the bridge when we get there. Because the money, I think after the 60% discount, probably it will be around, I don't know, probably around 320 pounds or thereabout. That money after 4 months can be what you'll be earning per day if you are doing contracting. And you invested 320 for 4 months to get yourself equipped, to get yourself, with the necessary skills and knowledge that is required. And that might become your daily earnings after the 4 months. But you will never know if you don't take the bold step today. But for today and the next 1 week, we are giving away 60% discount for anyone that wants to take on or enroll with us. So that is the offer for now. For now, I'm going to be pausing. If anyone has, probably after this session, if you want to ask me anything, or you want to enroll with us, or you have question regarding enrollment or regarding anything at all, you can WhatsApp me. You can send me a message on the WhatsApp number on your screen. So you can take a screenshot, or you can save the number on your phone. That would be the best number to reach me on for enrollment, for questions, for anything at all. That would be the best number to reach me on. So for now, I'm going to be pausing, and I'm going to be inviting Samuel, who is going to be the facilitator that will take you on the journey if you are to enroll, to shed more light into the life of a data analyst, what it entails to become one, what are the things that you need to become one. Can someone from non-IT background or non-technical background, do they stand a chance when they transition? is going to be answering all these questions and, show you more into the life of a data analyst. So for now, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to call on Samuel to take over from here. Thanks. See you soon.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah. I believe we all can see my screen. So
yes, we can.
I'll be welcoming us again to this beautiful section. You're welcome, everyone. So as you already know, this is a webinar to introduce you into becoming a professional data analyst. First, I'll be introducing myself. I'm Samuel Adedotu. I'm a professional data analyst, and I've been on this journey for quite a time. I've actually served as a data analyst in different industries, ranging from the financial sector to consulting to agricultural consulting. Currently, I work with a consulting firm that partner with one acre agriculture, where we help use data analysis to reduce the post-harvest risks. So basically, when you talk about data analysis, it's just a process of cleaning up data, collecting data, and analyzing it to bring out the silent insight. And when you analyze the data properly, you are not just analyzing for analyzing sake, but at the end of the day, you will be seeing yourself solving a business problem or improving the business. That's business optimization, basically. Now, this is a quote from the CEO of LinkedIn, named Jeff Werner. Now, you see what he says there? This is just a quote from him concerning data. Now, before you talk about data analysis, you need to understand what data is, because generally, without data, there can be what we call data analyst or data analysis. Now, what is data? So this is according to the CEO of LinkedIn. It says data is what powers everything that we do. And I believe we all on this meeting will agree to that fact, that data is what powers everything that we do. Because, for example, being on this meeting, we were given an invite. And from the invite itself was made up of what? Of data, different data types, ranging from the date and time data, where you have the date and the timestamp of today's meeting. You have the string data, which relate to the text data, the text part of the invite. You have the numeric data type, which relate to the numbers in the meeting invite. So you will agree with me. Even talking about our day-to-day activity, it has an individual or even down to our organizations or to where we work. Data is what powers everything. And without data, there can't be a business. So for every business there has to be what we call data. That's the part of the data analyst. Now, once there is an available data, yes, there has to be someone who understands the processes of bringing out the beautiful part of the data, because majority of the data, either the one we have personally or the one from organization, always comes in dirty. So you as data analyst, one of your job is what? To make sure you transform the data, to clean it to the best format in which you can easily model it, and then go ahead to make a proper visualization, which at the end of the day, you'll be presenting and making recommendations and also solving a business problem when you talk about data analysis. Now, let's move into defining what a data analysis is. What is data analysis? So as you can see right there on my screen, data analysis is the process of cleaning, changing, and processing raw data and extracting actionable and relevant information that helps business makes informed decision. So in general, when you talk about data analysis, it starts from the process of what? Collecting the data, either from a primary source or from a secondary source. After collecting your data, then the next aspect, which is one of the key process of every data analysis, is what? The cleaning process, which involves transforming the data, changing format where it's necessary, removing the non-values, removing the unimportant metrics in the data, transforming it into the best format. Then the next thing you now do is to move on into processing the raw data, which in this case, analyzing the data and extracting out an actionable and relevant information that will help the business make informed decisions. So without a proper data analysis process, what this is saying is businesses cannot make what? A proper defined decision, which will improve the business process and also help grow the company. The procedure of data analysis in every organization helps reduce the risks. The risks in decision making. It helps in providing useful insight and statistics. It helps to understand how to present the data or the necessary information from the data into charts, images, tables, and graphs, which is the part of data visualization. For every data analysis process, there's always an ending part, which is the data visualization, where you have to present your insights and statistics in form of charts, images, and tables, and graphs. And all of this process would be what would help the business to make a proper decision. When you talk about data analysis, it involves analyzing the present, the past, into the future, and making a decision based on that. I'm sure majority of us on this meeting would have, at one point in time, heard the term big data. When you talk about big data, you're talking about data coming from the database. You know, data analysis now has gone beyond just the spreadsheet. We now have, most organizations now have what we call the database, where the data are saved in form of rows and columns. It's just a cloud based engine that allows us to save a much more data. That's where the term big data comes in. So as a data analyst, one of your job is to still be able to understand how to communicate with this database in the language they understand, which in this case, we're talking about the SQL. Now, this is a quick chart from Google, checking if data analysis is still in demand. We all can try to do that right now as we're talking. Just try to type it on your Google. Is data analysis still in demand? You'll see the result. So this is a result from Google. It's saying transitioning to a career in data analysis can mean stable employment in a high-paying industry once you have the right skills. Each year, there is more demand for data analysts and scientists than there are people with the right skills to fill those roles. So one thing you should understand is this. Every time, every minute, every second, there are more data analysis jobs than the available people with the right skill. So what we're saying in essence is this. Once you have the right skill, you getting a job as a data analyst is a done deal. So the first thing you have to understand is what you need to get the right skill. And thank God we are all here. And that is the first step into getting that skill. Because right here in Learn with Pride, we have a proper structured training for you that would enhance your skill set and build you into a professional data analyst within the next 4 months. This is another report from the World Economic Forum. of future of jobs. This is a report for year 2022. It's an annual report. By December this year, another report will be out from this same forum. You see what it says there. It listed data analysts and data scientists as the top emerging job, followed by artificial intelligence and machine learning specialists and big data specialists. And what you understand in all of these ways is they are all connected. They are all connected. As a data analyst, your job is to what? Analyze the data, clean the data, and all of that. As a data scientist, whatever thing that has been analyzed, you are building it into a model that can what? Perform an iteration into further analysis. So the first steps into becoming anything is to really get to understand how to use all of the tools as a data analyst. They're talking about AI, the artificial intelligence. It still boils down to what? You understanding how to even create the model first, which is the part of data analyst. Then the machine learning also is part of the job criteria of a data scientist. And that still boils down to you understanding the data analysis rather. So what I'm saying in essence is this. Every of all these other roles that are listed here, the AI, the data scientist, machine learning specialist, big data specialist, all together is what? Another step into data analysis. So before you can even get to know all of this, you need to really get to understand what is data analysis, because all of this builds on it. So you are in the right space. Now, talking about the course, the program, it's a 4-month program. It's a program that runs for 4 months. As you already heard that from my boss. This program will run for 4 months, and in the 4 months, we have structured it in such a way that it will accommodate everyone, regardless of your knowledge of data analysis. Either you are a new person into data analysis, or you are an intermediate, or you are trying to just improve your knowledge on data analysis. This course is a perfect one for you. In the 4-month journey, we'll be taking each of the core tools. When you talk about data analysis, when you talk about data analysis, it involves different tools. There's a tool that really works fine when you are trying to transform. There is one that really fits in for visualization. There's one, but in all of this, different companies also have their own perfect tool. A company like Formula One basically use Tableau as their major data analysis tool. Amazon, Tableau. Some other companies also base their data analysis process on just Power BI. Once you understand the A to Z of Power BI, then you're good to go. You notice when my boss opened a job search, you see what was required: Power Query, data modeling, data analysis. All of these are processes that you'll be learning in the course of this program. You will understand how to perform a perfect data cleaning process, you understand how to do data collection from a database, how to perform a proper data analysis process, complete your data visualization, which is the final part, transforming whatever information you have gathered from the data into a way that people can read and understand through the use of charts, the graphs, the maps, the bullet points, and different visualization methods. And these visuals will be what will help to drive valuable insights by helping to compare data sets and observing relationships. About the training will introduce you to the world of data analysis. You will learn how to go through the entire data analysis process. So when you talk about data analysis process, just like I said, it starts from collecting the data, down to data cleaning, down to data analysis, down to data visualization. And we also have different types of data analysis. We have the descriptive analysis, which involves summarizing and describing the main features of the data set, which is part of the thing you'll be learning. We have the inferential analysis, which aims to make inferences or predictions about a larger population based on a sample data. You'll be learning that as well. We have what we call exploratory data analysis, which focuses on exploring and understanding data without preconceived hypotheses. You'll be understanding how to do that as well. We have what we call the diagnosis analysis, which basically aims to understand the cause and the effect of relationship between the data. You get to understand that. We have the predictive analysis, which involves predicting, making predictions and forecasts based on the history of the data. We tend to predict and forecast what the future of a business will look like based on the history of the data. As you already know, data analysis basically involves what? Understanding the past, connecting it to the present, and using it to predict the future. That's what makes every business: the past, the present, and the future. We have the prescriptive analysis, which goes beyond just predicting, but then recommending actions and decisions based on the predictions. You have to understand how to make recommendations based on your predictions. These are all the things you'll be learning in the course of this training. Now, the training has been drafted in such a way that it will accommodate 4 different tools of data analysis. Talking about the Power BI. Power BI is a great tool, is a model-based tool. We might be trying to see what is the difference between Microsoft Power BI and Microsoft Excel. Excel is a spreadsheet-based tool. Power BI is a model-based tool. It helps in building model. Although there are similarities between Excel and Power BI, but then Power BI is a more advanced tool. Just like I said initially, that we have gone beyond just spreadsheet. We are now in the era of what? Big data. So when you talk about big data, you are talking about modeling. That is the part where Power BI comes in. It's an engine that has been built on Excel to improve data analysis process. So you'll be understanding how to use Power BI to perform all of the data analysis process, starting from connecting your data, to transforming your data, to loading your data, and even get to understand how to create a model, a proper model in Power BI. This part, you'll be understanding how to create a relationship, talking about the keys, the primary key and the foreign key. You understand what a schema is in Power BI, where we talk about the snowflake schema and the star schema. You get to understand how to write a DAX function using the M language. Then you understand how to create a proper data visualization and making a proper dashboard. And in all, you will get to understand how to make a report and make recommendations. All of this you'll be learning in the course of this training. You get to use Tableau. Tableau is another great tool, just like I mentioned. In the world of business intelligence, you can't do without Tableau. Tableau is a great tool. Companies like Formula One, Amazon, Horizon make use of Tableau as their major tool. It does almost the same thing like Power BI, but then Tableau has its own benefits. It has its own sides, better sides than Power BI. But then, as a data analyst, just like I said, you need to understand how to use all of these too, because you don't really know which one a company will require. The jobs are there. Once you have the right skill, trust me, you are good to go. Then you have the SQL. I mentioned something about big data. The companies have gone beyond just storing data on Excel. We have gone into storing our data in the cloud, which in this case, we're talking about the database. The Postgres, the SQL, the SQLite, the MongoDB, a lot of DBs, a lot of database. You need to understand how to communicate with this database using your SQL, the SQL language. You'll be understanding all of these in the course of this training. Then talking about Python. Python, yes, it's a programming language, but then it's another great language that we use as a data analyst. Starting from reading your data, connecting to different data of different sources, to the point of creating your cleaning the data and creating your visualization. You can do all of that using Python. Python and it goes beyond just data analysis, it goes into data modeling. When you are talking about machine learning, you're talking about Python. Either you're using your Python, you're using your R. You'll be learning how to use Python, how to be a great user of Python. You understand how to perform what we refer to as web scraping in the course of this class, which is connecting to what? Different data from the web source. Then in all of these, the beautiful aspect of this whole thing is at the end of the two, you will be performing what we refer to as what? The capstone project, which is a project that will aim at a real work experience imitation. All of these projects would help you to build your first portfolio as a data analyst. So one good thing about tech jobs, data analysis, business analysis, project management, product design, DevOps, administrators, talking about Linux administrators and different other ones, you don't really get to like for you to get your first job, you don't really need to present a certificate. What every recruiter or a company needs to see first is your project, your capsule, your portfolio, showing what you have done, showing the skill you have. So it goes beyond, yes, I have a certificate, I have a master's degree in data analysis, or I have a BSc, whatever. That's not it. Your first goal should be have the right skill. Know that, like, to the point that where you can defend it at any point in time. Once you can do all of that, it makes it easy for you to get your first job as a data analyst. Through that, you can then continue to build on it. And one good thing about this whole journey of the data analyst, just like every other tech jobs, you don't really need, you don't get to like understand the A to Z before you can even get your first role. It's a continuous learning. So in the course of this 4 months, we are building you up to the point where you can have the right skill, defend that skill, and get that job. Just like I've mentioned earlier, this is just a recap. Talking about the Power BI, you understand how to connect your data, how to transform your data from different sources, how to create a data model, how to build your visualizations, and how to share your insight with others in your organizations. Tableau, of course, understand how to perform data, connect to data sources, clean your data and transform data, combine your data, which also is what modeling, creating your visuals, presenting your data with using stories, and creating and modifying worksheets. You might be looking at it. This is almost the same thing like as what we have in Power BI. It's almost the same thing, but they are different too. The way you do, you perform a process in A is different from the way you perform in B, although you are doing the same thing, but in different way, using different tool. One reason why I actually like Tableau as a tool is because Tableau, unlike Power BI, where you as a person have to understand how to create that dashboard yourself. Tableau has given every data analyst a leverage to a template of dashboard, a template of stories. There's a part for dashboard, there's a part of stories already. But that, for Power BI, you need to understand how to really build this all of these things. But unlike Power BI, where most of the processes are the things that, like for Power BI, all the things you are doing, you are seeing how this is working. Tableau, most of the things you are doing is being performed at the back end by the machine. All you are doing most times in Tableau will be drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop, drag from a measure, drop it in the column, drag from your dimension, drop it in your row. It brings out your visual. But there are still some things you need to understand, which is more technical in Tableau. But all of this will be made simple in a very easy to understand language in the course of this training. SQL, I already mentioned, is a language that is used in what? Talking to the database. So in all of this, you'll be understanding all of the commands guiding communicating to a database, understanding all the tools that are involved in SQL, the group by, the joins, the subqueries, understanding all the filtering commands, mastering all the most popular strings, the mathematical strings, the date and time functions in SQL, the enhancing the performance of a database using the views indexes, increasing your efficiency by learning the best practice while working and writing your SQL queries, then understanding the relevant theoretical concepts that guides a proper, excellent process in business intelligence, jobs, and all. Then Python, I already mentioned that, is a programming language, but then it's a great tool. In this training, you'll be understanding how to use the Jupyter Notebook. If you're familiar with Python or data analysis with Python, you'd have here at one point in time Jupyter Notebook. So you understand how to use Jupyter Notebook through the Anaconda. There's an Anaconda navigator. On the Anaconda navigator, that's where you'll be using your Jupyter Notebook. We'll guide you in all of this. You understand how to use the IDs, how to work with number, strings, and the list. All of the data types, not just number, strings, and list, but all the data types, talking about the strings, the list, the tuple, the dictionary, the set. How to write and create a proper conditional functions, defining function, simple flow control and languages, how to read and write files, installing and using common analytics such as NumPy, the Skippy, the Matplotlib, the Pandas, and every other one. Now, do you need a computer language background or a computer science background before you can enroll into this training? So the answer is what? No. And the reason why it's like that is, in this training, we have structured in such a way that it will accommodate everyone, regardless of your prior knowledge. Either you are a beginner, you are intermediate, or you are beyond intermediate. We are here to help you grow into becoming a professional data analyst. So everyone is welcome, regardless of your knowledge. Everyone is welcome into this training. Now, just a quick one. After the training, where do we get jobs? You have been talking about all of these things. After learning, where exactly do we get the jobs? So these are a few places where we get jobs as a data analyst. From your LinkedIn, just with the proper profile showing what you can do on LinkedIn, people will reach out to you. They will reach out to you. I worked with Airtel Nigeria 2019, 2020. The truth is, I didn't apply directly to the job. I got an invite through LinkedIn, and I actually got the job. I worked as a business analyst, stroke data analyst for Atuli. So the jobs, once you have the right skill and you can actually defend what you know, getting the job is easy. Aside a full-time role, you can get other part-time jobs, a freelance job on different sites. You have the Indeed.com, Dentrate.io. There are a lot of them. Even on your Fiverr, on your Upwork. I know we know this. If you are familiar with freelance jobs, you should have heard about Fiverr and Upwork. So that's all about that. But then I'll still take a little of your time. Let's say the next 15 minutes, I'll be showing just a quick insight on what we can do with Power BI. So just like I said, Power BI is what a great tool that has been built on data on Microsoft Excel. So this is the welcome view. This is what you have in your Power BI. When you open your Power BI, this is what you have, basically. You see, we have, look at this first part. This is what I'll be showing you. So we have the report view. The report view is a view where you, as a person, can easily get to what? Make your report. Then just below it, we have the data view. Data view is where you can view your data once you have brought in your data. You see that currently is empty. That's because I'm here to bring in my data. Then we have the what? The model view. The model view is where you can perform your modeling at the point of what? Your data analysis. So for the course of this training, or this section rather, I will not alter any setting. Normally, when it is a proper data analysis process, I have to make some setting which involves me changing this modeling. So it's like going to my file, go to my option and setting, go to my options, then right in my options, I will have to tell the machine to ignore my model. So you see currently it's saying relationships, import is checked, auto detect is checked. So if it's a proper data analysis process, I have to uncheck the two because I don't want Power BI. I don't want to give Power BI the power to automatically create my model for me. I want to be in charge. So I have to uncheck that if it's a proper data analysis process. But because of our time, I'm leaving that. Let it go ahead to decide that. Then I have the regional setting. So for every data, there's a regional setting to it. When you talk about the regional setting, every data comes from a region. So you need to make sure you set the data you are bringing in to the right region. Once the regional setting is not in the right format with the data, whatever data you are bringing in will come in either as an empty file or as a non-file or as an error. So the data you are bringing in has to what? To be set, Power BI has to be set to the right region that fits what data you are bringing in. So if I need to set this, for example, I just click on this drop down and I will select the region where the data is coming from. Different data have their settings. We have a different date format. United States and UK, for example, have a different date format. Take, for example, a data coming from an Arab Emirates, for example, where they write from right to left. If you are trying to bring that in and you set it in for a country, you set the region to a country that is writing from left to right, definitely whatever thing you are importing it will come out as what? As empty. So that's where the regional setting comes in. So I'm leaving this as United States, then I click OK. Now, the first thing I have to do is bring in my data, which I want to work on. Now, you see just right up here, I have the name, the icon, get data. So once I click on this, it brings out the list of data I can connect to. So Power BI as a tool gives us the opportunity to connect to a whole lot of data source, from file to database to Power Platform to Azure to online service to every other one. You see, these are other sources. Now I'm trying to connect to, let's say, a text file for tonight. Our first data is a text file. So once I click on text and I click connect, it takes me to my backend and it's asking me to connect to the data I want to connect to. So for tonight's class, I will not do much. What I want to do is just to I'll bring in two data, and this data will be customers data. I'll bring in customers data and just one sales data, just to show us how it works. So look at what it's doing here. It's connecting the data, and immediately, what do you notice? It brings out an interface and it's asking me, do I want to load the data? Do I want to transform? Or do I want to cancel? So for every data you're bringing in, there is something called ETL, extract, transform, and load. So what we have done here is extract. The next thing after you extract the data, you have to transform it. And why are you transforming your data? Because majority of your data that you'll be working on will be dirty. So you need to know how to transform your data. So click on transform. Once you click on transform, it automatically takes you to your Power Query editor. Now, for those that are familiar with Excel, Power Query editor is a tool in Excel, and we have it also in Power BI. That's where the whole cleaning will be happening, the whole transformation. So just like I mentioned, I'm bringing in another data into this Power Query editor, and that is the sales. Once I do that, then we can just quickly see one or two things before I end this section or this part. So I'm clicking on new source to bring in another data. Once I do that, it automatically open the same interface as before, where I can easily select the data that I want to connect to. So it's trying to come up with the interface. Look at what we have here. So let's connect to another text file for tonight. Connect again. I'll just take in only one sales data, sales 2015, just for tonight's class, since we are not doing much. All right, good. Now I have the two data sets. I have the customers data and I have the sales data, which is 2015. So the first thing I want to do here is to rename it, which is hello, can you please mute your mic? Thank you. So this is the customers data, and the next one is my sales data. So I want to rename this also. Let me rename our sales just for our quick insight. Now in the customers data, let's see very quickly one or two things and see what transform we can perform on it. Now you just notice just right here, we have different options under home. We have the enter data, keep data, remove data, and all of that. We have another icon here, transform. Under transform, we have different options as well. On that column, we have different options. All of this we'll be learning how to do it, on how to use each of them during the training. We have the view. This also have some options that we'll get to understand during the course of the class, like the proper training. And we have the tool, we have the help. So for tonight, let's just try to see how much we can transform this. So we have the customer key, we have the prefix, we have the first name, we have the last name, we have birth date, we have marital status, we have gender, we have email address, we have annual income, we have total children, we have educational level, we have occupation, and we have home owners. So the first thing I want to do here very quickly is you have the first name and last name. Why do you think it has to be different? First name and last name in different column. This is taking too much space. So as a data analyst, this is part of the things you have to be looking at when you are trying to clean a data. So what I'm trying to say in essence is this. I can actually combine these two columns together to form a single column which in essence I will be what? Naming it what? The full name. The full name. So I'll be merging these two together, and that is part of data cleaning. So in order to merge these, I just select these as well. Now I can easily merge from the transform, or I can merge from the add column. But there is a difference between merging from the add column and merging from the transform. If I'm merging from the transform, it will automatically override these two columns and merge them into one. But if I'm merging from the add column, it will merge them, return the result, and also still maintain these two columns. So for this class, what I will be doing is I'll be merging from the transform because I want it to override these two and just return my result, which is the full name. So once I click on merge, which is right here, up here, it brings an opening asking me for what I want to merge and the separator. Now, what is the separator? I can easily use so what will be the separator? So I can use space as my separator. What is the name I want to give it? The new merge table, what is the name I want to give it? Full name. And that is it. What do you know this? That's combined the two together. Now, instead of having first name and last name, I've combined them together as one. And I only have what? A new column, which is now referred to as what? Full name. Now, another thing I want to quickly mention is this. Each of the columns have their data type. You notice from the customer's key, there's 1 to 3 beside it. From the previous, we have ABC full name. Then birth date, we have something like calendar. So these are called the data types. Let's click on one of them, 1 to 3. Look at, these are the data types that we have in Power BI. Or decimal numbers, that's if a column has decimal numbers as the values, the data type will what? Decimal number. You have fixed decimal number, we have whole numbers, we have percentage, we have date and time, we have date, we have time, date, time, and time zone, we have the duration, we have text, we have the true or false, which we refer to as what? The Boolean data types, we have the binary. So you have to be sure that each of your columns are in the right data type at every time you are analyzing. So another quick thing I want to do here before we see just one or two visual and then we end this section is to work on this annual income. So this annual income currently, you notice what we have is a range of numbers, like from 10,000 down to 170,000. So this might not really make sense. Why not just create a distribution? Distribute these into categories that will now help me to be able to see the categories of my data. See the categories of my data. So I can easily just go to my home. In my home, I have so let's do that on that column. So under my add column, I have column from example, I have customer, custom column, I have invoke, conditional column. Then I have conditional column. So what I'm creating here is a conditional column. Once I click that, it automatically opens this. Now I want to create a condition for this, my data. So just like I've seen, we have the series of data from 10,000 to 170,000. So why don't we do this? Annual income, that's the column we are trying to create. Annual income distribution. Sorry, I'm taking your time, but I'm almost done with this. Then what's the column? The column is annual income. We have an equality sign. Does not equal, is greater than, is greater than or equal to, is less than or equal to. So let's say it does not equal, no. Is greater, is less than or equal to. So in this case, whatever value that is less than or equals to 40,000, let it return low income. So what you say in essence is every person that is any less or equal to 40,000 should be referred to as what? Low income earners. So low income. So I can add more clause. Again, using the annual income column. Is less than or equal to 70,000. Let's refer to these guys as average so I'm changing this to low earners. Average earners, and the last clause, still using the annual income. That's what we are trying to do. So this is, I can say greater than 70,000. Once it's greater than 7,000, that means it will be capturing every other data that is available in that column. So we can refer to these guys as what? The high earners. Now, let's click on OK. So once I click OK, look at what happens. A new column has been created. I'm changing this to text. Sorry, I will be answering questions at the end of this. I'm seeing somebody raising his hand. I'm not sure if it's. So look at this. Based on what I've the condition I've created, I have 90,000 high earners, 60,000 falls now into what? Average earners. We have the high earners, just like that. Now let's really just look at the sales. Let's see if there's one thing you can change in the sales. So the sales are right in point. They are right on point rather. But one minute. Let me bring in just one more data. One more data to connect this. Hopefully they are all connected. Just one more data, then I'm done. We'll just go to visualization, just do 1 or 2 visuals, and that will be all for tonight on this. But you get to understand all of these processes in a easy to understand format once we start the training proper. So don't be afraid. I know it might be intimidating at first, but don't be. Once you start these properly, you will get to see that all of these things they are easy processes. This is what they are paying that huge sum for. Trust me, we don't do more than this. In our day-to-day activity, these are the things we are doing. Not like there's something more bigger. So once I've completed my transformation or my cleaning process, I click on close and apply. And it takes me directly back to my Power BI engine. You remember this view? This was the first place we came. When we open our Power BI, this was where we connected our data set. So it has taken us back to that page where I said we have the report view, we have the data view, and the model view. Now we are back to that page now. After we have performed our transformation. See what he's saying? It's loading it. It's loading it. Now look at it. This place was empty before. Now we have 3 data that has been imported in. Now let's go to data view. This was empty before I brought in the data. Now you see we now have what? We now have the data that we have brought in available. Now, or even on the model view, it was empty before, but look at it. Now we have model. But one thing now you understand is this. Okay. Now in this model, look at what happens. Only these 2 were connected from the model. So what they're saying is this. Power BI was only able to what? See that there's a connection between this table. And that's the part of where I was talking about that you need to be the one to supervise the modeling, the relationship. See Power BI. It's a smart tool, yes. But then as the user, you are more smart, you are smarter. Look at it. It was able to detect that there is a relationship between customers and sales. But what of territory? There's no relationship that is discovered. But take a look at this very quickly. There is territory key in sales, and there's also territory key in what? In territory. There's sales territory here. So there has to be a connection. So what I'll just do here is I will assist the two to do it. Look at what has happened. Now let me open these to make this flow both ways. The way it's flowing there. Instead of single, let it flow both ways. Just because of this class. Now that's fine. Can you see? All are connected. Now let's go to our report view. Just to make just one or two visuals. Now in my report view, the first now to create is let's try to just create customers profile tonight. Just one or two customers profile, then I'll stop here so we don't delay us. Then when we resume the class properly, you will see all of these processes bit by bit in a very simple way that you will get to understand it. So first I'm bringing out my my donut, or my, let's say, the bar chart. So from these, I'm putting in customers. Let me use gender, just one, and the last one will be the last for tonight. So I'm bringing my gender in this case. It shows the gender distribution, male, female, and NA. Then I'm connecting it with the total. So it's actually necessary that I create something called a measure that shows total customers. So let me just quickly do that. Just 1 minute, please. I'm almost done with this. Let's just do it, and just to see a quick one. Current customers key. So this is a measure showing the total customers. I've created a measure showing the total customers. Let me select this and drop it. See what happens. It shows a visual with showing the descriptions of the total customers. Now you see the customers breakdown. See each of the values. So from this, you can easily see that what we have higher percentage of the customers coming from the what? From the male, which is what? 50.29%. We have just 49% as female. So from this, you can easily see the distribution of the what? Of the customers based on gender. So in our database, we have more male customers. Let's just show one more visual, then we'll stop. So I don't keep us for too long. Just one more visual, then we are out of this. Let's try to do something here. Let's create occupation by yearly income. Occupation by yearly income. The income we have the income distribution we have created. Let's create occupation by yearly income. So if I'm doing this using the clustered column chart, or let's use another, let me use the stack bar chart. Fine. The annual income we have created is right here, annual income distribution. Then occupation, which is the other one I want to bring in. So I need to change where this is going. This should be on the x-axis and not. Now look at this. Now, what do you notice in this? Very quickly, you see that what we have a whole number of our customers falling into the what? The low earners. So we have more low earners than the average earners than we have for the high earners. So this alone can help us to what? Decide on what product we want to feature into as a company. If majority of our customers are low earners, they are earning below $40,000, then you see that we might not invest in something that is way higher than this, or 10% of their earnings at the end of the day. So that is it. We have successfully created just to show the distribution of our customers based on gender, and also distribution of our customers' annual income based on their occupation. Very quickly. So, but there are still a lot of things that we have to do on this in a proper data analysis process, of course. But this is just a quick thing on what we can do using a data analysis tool right in this class, which is Power BI. And that is all for tonight. We have questions and all. I'm available. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you for that, Samuel. So if you have any question, please, this is the time to raise your hand. You can drop your questions on the chat as well, but I'll prefer you raising your hand and talking, because we are here to learn together. So I think I'll prefer that more. So if you have any questions, please kindly raise your hand and I'll be calling you shortly. Just for the people that joined late, the start date for the next cohort for data analysis will be starting on the 26th of this month. That'll be on a Tuesday. It's a 4-month journey that will expose you to 4 industry standard tools, which are Power BI, Tableau, SQL, and Python. And as I made mention earlier on, the cost is $799. Well, we are giving 60% discount for anyone that is going to be paying everything at once. But if you don't have everything to pay at once, that is fine. You can pay twice, just that that will only attract 40% discount if you are paying twice. We only have, as at now, that Samuel was giving his talk. So we only have so to say 6 slots left for the cohort that will be starting on the 26th of September. So if you want to take advantage of that, please, you can do so before we run out of slots. If you have any questions regarding enrollment, regarding anything at all, you can message me on the number on your screen. That'll be the best number to reach me on WhatsApp on your screen. So has anyone got any question, please kindly raise your hand and I'll be calling you shortly. Let me go through the chat and read the questions. So please, if you have any questions, we are here to learn together. So don't be shy to raise up your hand and I'll call you shortly. I'm just going through the chat. So Samuel, someone asked, what's the difference between data analysis and data science?
So in just a very simple language, the difference between data analysis and data science is the machine learning. As a data scientist, you need to understand what we refer to as machine learning, which as a data analyst, you don't need that. And when you talk about machine learning, it's just the process of building a model that can iterate process. So majority of the models you are building as a data analyst, you are not iterating it. It's just for that particular process you are trying to work on at that particular time. But when you're now moving into iterating your processes, that's for it to automatically perform that same process on the next one, then you are already moving to machine learning. And that's just the difference. When you talk about data analysis and data science, is just the machine learning aspect of it.
So
All
there's
right.
another question. What's the difference between data analytics and business analytics?
All right. So just in a very simple language also, the business analytics, they are the outside guys, while the data analysts are the inside guys. So the clients see more of the business analyst than they see more of the data analyst. You are the backend guys. We as data analysts, we do most of the things backend. We don't get to meet the clients, so to say. But the business analysts have to be the one to present and make all of these facing the client and all. So that's just the difference.
All right, that's all the question on the chat. Has anyone got any question before we draw the curtain for tonight? We don't want to waste too much of your time. Has anyone got any question regarding whether the enrollment, regarding the data analyst, regarding anything at all, that you want to clarify before we go? Samuel, you raise your hand.
Yes.
Myself?
Thank you very much. Good evening, please.
Yeah, good evening.
I needed clarity on the diet process. You did say this very one begins in September 26th. What place do I stand? What chance do I stand to participate if I were to join it in the diet? Maybe probably in November, because I got my hands full of activities at the moment. I'll be done by November, and I intend to join. Or do I need to wait for another diet?
We are in September now, so
Yes.
yeah, we actually have monthly enrollment. So I think we're going to have another cohort starting like end of October. That might be the one for end of October might be the last for the year. Because we might not be able to do the one for end of November because we'll be breaking for December, I think second week in December. So we might not have enrollment in November, but we are going to be having end of October. That might be the last for the year.
Okay. And secondly, you did say it's going to be a 50-50 participation on the spend. What chance is your system going to offer? Because there's been other platforms like this where you register and you are left at the middle of the journey to do it yourself.
Yeah, I fully understand that there are many training organizations out there, and that's why I made mention earlier on as well that for those who have done their due diligence, probably in terms of price, you'll be able to tell that, the price I was quoted from company A is really high. How come this one is really cheap? So because of my background, I transitioned as well, so what I wasn't able to get during my own transitioning journey, it's what I'm putting together to help people to make life much easier, to make the transitioning much easier when they are going through theirs. So we put everything in place, the mentorship, the support, and your success is our success at the end of the day. So we are not those people that they are really after the money, after they collect your money, after they, sweet talk you, collect your money, and they put you on the training. You realize that it is not what they promised that you get. For us, you can quote me on anything that I personally said or we promised that we are going to deliver, from the practical training to the project, to the mentorship, to the support, to the interview preparation, to given the reference on job support. You can quote me anytime on that, because we are trying to build a family, not just someone that passes through our academy. 6 months down the line, you can still come back and say, you know what, Akin, I needed this help, I needed that support. I won't say I don't know you again just because you are no longer with us. No, because we are trying to create a community, a community whereby, you can come to, and you can get answer to any questions or to any issues that you might be having. So that's what That's what we stand for. And the only way you can know whether this is true or not is, is number one, through your due diligence. If you go on all our platforms, even on Trustpilot as well, you can see what people are saying about us. If you go on our Instagram page, you can see what is happening or how people are getting jobs and all of that. So our work speaks for us, and we are not like others that will just, leave you hanging and don't deliver on what they promised. We are not.
Thank you. If you don't mind, can I go one more?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You did earlier. You did say you are not certification driven.
Yeah.
Or rather priority driven.
Yeah.
This payment, does it entail any form of it, even if you're not
Any form of certification?
Yeah.
No. I can't sell what I don't believe in. And the reason for that is, again, that will go back to my own transitioning journey. The mistake I made during my own journey, that is why I'm trying to stop others from making. I have so many certificates, professional certificates, thinking that will open the door for me. But no. Why? Because I don't have what it takes. I don't have the required skills that it takes. I can tell you, since I got my first break, up until the last day that I decided I'm not doing 9 to 5 again, nobody, no organization, no company has ever asked me to tender my certificate. None. Why? Because I can prove myself, I can prove my worth at the interview, and they believe that, you know what, he knows what he's talking about. Probably when they now doubt you or they don't believe too much in you, maybe they can be asking you for certificate. But if you know your onions, nobody. But I'm not saying professional certification is not good. Don't get me wrong. Just that we as Learn with Pride, it's not what we stand for. We don't preach that. But at your own convenient time, you can sit for any that you like. You can do it and bag it. Some people are like that. And most especially the way we've been brought up, we've been made to believe that, certificates will open doors for us. But it's no longer the case anyway. But for those that still want certification, professional certification of one form of other or the other, then you can do that, read for that, and go and sit for it. But we concentrate on a day in the life of a data analyst. If you should get the job tomorrow, how you're going to survive on that job, that is what we concentrate on. So the money you are paying is not inclusive of professional certification, but is inclusive of, just because of popular demands, what certificate are you giving? And I don't want to just give you a paper certificate at the end of the journey. That was why I went ahead and ensured that all our courses are CPD accredited, and the certificate that will be given is recognized in over 60 countries at the end of the program. So that is what we do, and that is what we offer.
Thank you very much. Let me allow others to.
If you have any other question, you can. No, but I can't see anybody raising their hand anyway, so they might be benefiting from your question.
Okay, just one more that just followed up.
Hello?
Hello, can you please raise your hand or just allow Samuel to finish and I'll call you?
Okay,
Thanks. All right, Samuel, go on.
Yeah, if I were going to would there be any form of hidden charges?
There's no. I don't see. I don't. What you see is what you get. If we call, yeah.
Okay, is that okay? Let's say we're doing SQL now, and I have to install SQL, and how do I go about that? Am I going to get the application from you?
So it's an open source. All the tools that we'll be using is an open source, meaning they are free.
Okay, all right.
You don't need to pay for anything, not at all.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sorry, good evening.
Yeah, Chinedu, good evening.
Yeah, how are you, please?
Good, we're fine.
I'm very sorry. I just got the invite just now. I'm just seeing my bill now. I didn't know that this program started since 8 o'clock. I'm very, very sorry. So I'm just joining just now when you are rounding up. Could you please kindly just give me a brief summary of, I'm not saying you should go into it, just summary of what the program is all about, both the scope, probably the duration and payment so that I can have an
All right.
idea. I'm
All
very
right.
sorry.
No problem. So it's a 4 month program that will expose you to 4 industry standard tools, which are Power BI, Python, SQL, and Tableau. Each month will focus on one tool, and at the end of that month, you undertake a project based on the tool you just completed. That means at the end of the 4 months, you can showcase 4 different projects with 4 different tools to recruiters when you start applying for jobs. The training will run twice a week, every Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time. The cost is actually $7.99, but there's a 60% discount for anyone enrolling between now and the next 1 week. When we started this session, I think we started with 8 slots left, but as at now, it's only 6 slots left for the cohort that will be starting on the 26th of this month. So we have a cohort that will be starting on the 26th of this month. So that is just a summary. $7.99 is the actual price. There's 60% discount, but if you don't have if you don't have all the money to pay at once, you can still pay twice, but just that will only attract 40% discount. So you can start with half payment and the other half can be paid within 6 to 8 weeks. And for any other question that you might need or you might want to ask me, probably later on after this session, you can message me on this WhatsApp number on your screen.
Hello, sorry. Hello.
Yeah, Chinedu. Hello, Chinedu, I can hear you. Chinedu, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
I said I've seen the $7.99. Is it pounds, Abi?
Yeah, pounds, yes.
So is there any way we can give us the Naira equivalent if you can pay in Naira too?
So the Naira equivalent would be the actual cost. That would be 800,000 Naira. So minus you just have to deduct the 60%. I think that will give you 320,000 Naira to pay at the end of the day after you apply the 60%.
Okay. So this account you display here, is it a Naira account?
The first one is a UK account. This one is a UK account, and this is a Nigerian account.
A Naira,
Yeah, Naira account. Yeah, Naira account.
Naira, okay.
Yeah.
Then sorry, the payment you said is going to be one can pay, or is it 2 times or once?
No, if you want to enjoy this 60%, that will be a one-time payment. Okay. But if you want to pay twice, that will only attract 40%.
When is the program starting then properly?
26th of September.
26th of this month?
Yes.
It will run for 4 months. Yes. October, November, December, January.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, and it's 2 times a week. That yes. Is Tuesday and
Wednesday.
Okay. Tuesday and Wednesdays. And it's online.
Yeah, that will be live session on Zoom.
On Zoom, okay.
Yeah. For any other question, you can message me on the WhatsApp number on your screen as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question from anyone before we round up for tonight? I'm just joining. Okay, that's Chinedu. Okay.
These slides, is there any way you can send all these slides so we can? This slide you used to
discuss the recording. The session is being recorded, so the recording will be made available on the WhatsApp group for those on the WhatsApp group. But if you are not on the WhatsApp group,
can I join this WhatsApp group with this number on this number?
No. Yeah, okay. If you message me on that number, I can send you the group to join.
Okay.
Yeah, or you can. The video will also be available on our YouTube channel at Learn with Pride. If you can just search Learn with Pride by tomorrow, it will be available on our YouTube channel as well. But just message me on that WhatsApp number. I'll send you the WhatsApp group to join, and you can join. This is from Wana. How many hours are the classes? Because you take long just for the overview. The class, the actual training is 2 hours, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Yes, sorry for tonight. We don't mean to take too much of your time, but the actual training is 2 hours. 2 hours on Wednesday.
It's 26th of this month.
Yes, 26th of September. Yes.
Okay. I see that this is a WhatsApp line. This is
Uh,
444 736 201 2207.
yes, yes. This is James. Can we have the presentation today? Please send us a WhatsApp link. WhatsApp link. How can I do that? 1 second. Let me see whether I can. Let me send the WhatsApp link on the group so that anyone that wants to join can join actually. So give me 1 second. I'm going to share that shortly. But if you have any other question, please, while I'm trying to sort this out, please, you can ask your question while I'm doing this. Any other question from anyone?
During the Christmas period, will there be a break?
Yes, we are breaking. We break second week in December and come back in January.
Okay.
Yes, so I think we'll be breaking on the 15th. Yeah, I'll be sending the WhatsApp link shortly. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share it now. I'm just looking for. All right, let me share my screen. And I'm going to share the WhatsApp now. So for anyone that wants to join the WhatsApp group, it's on the group chat now. So that's the WhatsApp link for anyone that wants to join. I just shared it on the chat. So you can join the WhatsApp group with that link. And the recording will be shared by tomorrow on that group as well. So any final question from anyone?
Sorry, I didn't get the scope of. They said you this with data science. What and what? Sorry, I'm getting to write it down. Data science.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
The scope of this program. Sorry.
I said it's a 4-month program that will expose you to 4 industry standard tools, which are Power BI, Tableau, Python, and SQL. So this is a data analysis course, not data science.
Data analysis.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Any final word from anyone before we call it a day? And hopefully I'm going to be seeing some of you. Wana, you have a question. Unmute and ask your question.
What's it there, please?
Okay, so I have seen you've been talking about data analysis and you've not been talking about data science and others like database. And in your group, it's written data analysis, data science, which you've not actually tackled.
Yeah, it's
Now,
not.
I wanted
Yeah.
to know why you were talking about data analysis whilst you were excluding these others, because according to the examples that the other presenter was showing us, they include data science, which we can just say it is statistical. Yeah, it was kind of statistical the way he was presenting it. So that is kind of data science also, and also it's kind of database. Now you didn't talk about those things.
Okay.
I would like to know why.
Let me explain it to you. So data science is another course on its own. The session tonight only focus on data analysis. Database administration is another course on its own. So we'll be having separate sessions for those ones. But for tonight, we are only concentrating on data analysis and not data science.
So just to buttress the point, all these other parts, database administrator, data science, all together, just like I mentioned at the when I was making my point, the data being a data analyst is the foundation to everything. You know, as a data analyst, your main job, your main responsibility is to solve problems and spot trends. You are working on the snapshot of a data that exists now. When you're talking about data science now, you have gone beyond just working on the data and getting out the snapshot of what exists now to modeling the data for prediction through what we call machine learning. That's creating a machine learning model. That's major difference. Now, in the course of this training, we'll still be doing what we refer to as data management or database management, which is just a part of the training. That's using the SQL. But then there is also a part into becoming a full database manager, which my boss has just mentioned, which is another training on its own. That's the part of you now becoming what we refer to as data engineer, database engineer, or something like that. So each of them have their core too. But then as for you to now build into each of them, you need to have a proper foundation on data analysis. I don't know if you understand my explanation. Hello?
Yeah, I don't know what I still hear, but that's fine. Yeah, Samuel, do you have any other question before we call it a day?
Thank you. I was just thinking, before today, I really wanted to come into this, and my focus was to pick on about 2 tools and not 4. You've got about 4 to offer in 4 months, and I don't know. What if I decide if I wish to take 2 of these? Is there a concessional payment? And must I have to go through the 4 for just for convention to me?
So it comes as a package. That is why you are getting that much discount, right? On a good day, I shouldn't be offering that much discount. It's possible to do 2, but you might find out that you doing 2, you might even be paying more than what is expected, for the whole 4. That's just it. Because there won't be any for singular tools, just for someone that wants to come on board and just learn singular tools or 2, the package might not really favor them. So you might end up paying more for 2 than for paying for 4, if you understand what I'm saying.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I think we've taken too much of everyone's time. Any final question from anyone before we say good night to everyone? All right. Again, the cohort will be starting on the 26th of September. It will run Tuesdays and Wednesdays for 4 months. For any enrollment question or any other question at all, you can reach out to me on the number on your screen. Hopefully, we are going to see some of you on the journey and we can walk the walk together. But for now, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining our session, and hopefully we'll see you on the journey. Thank you, everyone. God bless. Have a good night rest. Thanks.
Thank you.